Have you ever been following GPS when all of a sudden you get one of those alerts and it says accident ahead, but you're still on the fastest route? That GPS is actually going to still take you through the hazard. What if there was a way that you could know about hazards in advance, or disasters, or any kind of emergency situations long before they happen? In today's video, I want to tell you about the most advanced emergency alert system or early warning system that's ever been developed that can keep you informed ahead of the impending disaster. If you're new to this channel, my name's Jeff, and it's my heart that none should perish. This is where I get to share tools, tips, and techniques with you to help you get prepared to stay prepared in the event that an emergency is occurring, to help keep you and your family safe. When there's an impending disaster, like a hurricane or an ice storm or things like that, we stay glued to the Weather Channel because we're looking for their forecast to help us prepare. And even then, they still get it wrong half the time. When it comes to information that you need to be prepared, there are three critical things. You have to have accurate information, and it has to be timely information. If you have information alone and it's not accurate, it doesn't do you much good for planning. And if it's not timely, like you have enough advanced warning, you'll find yourself in a bad way real fast. The accuracy of it is critical. If the Weather Channel says the storm is going this way and then the storm changes and goes that way, you're in trouble. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you about the most advanced early warning system that the world has ever known. But stick with me to the end because I'm going to tell you how you can get it for free. First, I need to give you some context so you can understand what I'm talking about. For example, many of you have seen the floods that have occurred, and a lot of them occur without warning. You have no idea it's going to happen, like those floods that happened in Texas last year, and all those campers on the holiday, they were caught off guard and many perished. What if you had enough advance warning, months ahead, maybe even years, that a major flood was going to happen? That'd give you a long time to prepare. Not only to prepare, but to make sure you're not in the location that the flood's going to happen. And you'd surely have all the things you needed in case you were anywhere near that vicinity. Or what if you were a farmer and your whole life and livelihood, your family's health and wellness, all depended on the things that you grew on a regular basis for your family's food, for your income? And what if you knew in advance, like years in advance, that there was going to be a drought at a certain point in time? That would be really valuable information to have because it would give you time to prepare. It would give you time to change directions, maybe move, or go to another location. And what if that advanced warning system not only gave you what was going to happen, but told you where to go and how to get there? These are the things I'm going to talk about in this video. To give you a little bit of back history, this early warning system was developed by one of the wealthiest men who ever lived. He knew after developing this, originally it was only available for a few select individuals, but the beta testing was so profound and so good that this man knew he had to get it out to everybody in the world. But he also knew if he didn't make it free and he made it available for a purchase, that others would corrupt it and manipulate it and use it for ill will. So he gave up everything he had, all of his wealth, all of his possessions, and ultimately his life to make sure that you and I could have it for free. And to take it a step further, I can tell you there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people who have died trying to get this message out to others and get this into people's hands for free. Of some of the early beta testers that had access to this early warning system, one of the people was named Josh. He'd been given early warning that a severe drought was going to happen and that a lot of people were going to be without food. This was far in advance of the drought actually occurring, and it gave him enough time to start preparing. His job actually had him in a role where he was able to advise some very high dignitaries that helped shape their policies and procedures of what they did to protect their citizens. So he was able to advise them on strategies to help prepare for that drought that was coming. And in doing so, ended up saving the lives of thousands of people, if not more, because they were prepared with that early warning or that advanced knowledge of what was coming. Another story that I recount of one of those early beta testers was a person named Noe. He had advanced warning of a flood that was going to occur that was on a massive scale. And in doing so, even though he didn't really fully understand the context of what was happening or what was going to happen, he knew that the information was trusted because of the source that it came from. See, he had been exposed to this beta testing from the time he was a young child, and he had seen enough evidence throughout his life to know that the information could be trusted and it was accurate and it was timely. So when he got this warning, he started preparing. He got a boat ready, he got supplies ready, he did all kinds of preparations, and then when that flood happened, he was prepared, and because of it, he and his family survived against all odds. Back to that first reference of the GPS and navigating that accident, I had a really close friend one time telling me a story about how he was on his way to a meeting, and as he was driving driving there, he started to get really sick to his stomach and just became very ill, to the point where he didn't know what was wrong, but something was drastically wrong. And he finally said, I just can't go to this meeting. Called ahead, said, hey, I'm not going to make it. Turned around and started to head home. The minute he turned around and started to head home, that feeling left him completely, and he was fine. He was still pretty alarmed by it, so he continued home. But I think that was another one of those examples of a situation where something was pending, and that early warning system was letting him know, hey, don't go here because there's something that's going to happen I want you to avoid. That's that early warning system I'm talking about, and there's nothing else like it in this world. Now, of course, we don't know what would have happened, but that's the reality is. You don't need to know what would have happened so long as you know that early warning system, the source of that information, is trustworthy. But what if it was a more personal disaster? Something that really hits close to home, like an unexpected death of a family member, or a loss of a job, or something that would impact you in the workplace that would leave you forever changed. If you had advanced knowledge of those things, that could be life-changing. There are a lot of countless stories of people who've had wisdom and insight before something happened. They just couldn't explain it. Take, for example, the Twin Towers and 9/11. There are countless stories of people who were headed to work that day or should have been at work that day, but for some reason and somehow they diverted from their normal, regular plans, and then 9/11 happened, and they were some of the sole survivors that should have been in that disaster. Or maybe a more personal example from me. Early last year, my wife and I just had that feeling that we needed to move and relocate to be closer to family. Now, we could have pursued, in my logical thought process, all the things that I thought should have happened. Okay, I need to sell the house, I need to get a job, I need to do all these different things. But that wasn't the case. We listened to that insight and we made the decision that we were going to move. Just recently, in December, almost a year later, we finally closed on selling our house where we were leaving from. If we had waited until that point to make the move, we would have had a certain disaster that we would have never been able to recover from. What I'm talking about is about 2 weeks ago, my stepfather, who was truly like a father to me, passed away unexpectedly. He fell asleep and never woke up. We would have lost all of that time that we got by being obedient. And when we were obedient to that insight, we had that whole year of time with family and with him to build memories, to spend time together, time that we wouldn't have gotten back. That's where that timely, relevant, accurate information is critical. Things that we don't know, that we can't see and we can't understand. This is the most advanced early warning system that's ever been created. And it was created for you and for me. It's just as relevant today as it was when it was created. All we have to do is turn on the news to know that there's earthquakes, there's famines, there's wars, there's rumors of wars, there's storms, there's all these different things. But there's an intelligence agency that knows long before those things happen, when they're going to happen, where they're going to happen, and how they're going to happen. And the head of that intelligence agency has a plan and a purpose for you. And he knows what's best for you, and he wants what's best for you. And like me, it's his desire that none should perish. The creator of this advanced early warning system, he literally gave up his life so that you could have access to it. He paid the price so no one else could take it away from you. It's been freely given. All you have to do is accept it. That creator's name is Yeshua. And right before he died, giving his life to provide this for you, he said, trust me, it's better that I go because I'm sending you a helper. I'm sending you my spirit to give you wisdom, to give you understanding, to give you comfort, to give you peace, to guide you, to teach you, to lead you. And I can tell you from my personal experience, there is nothing more true than this statement. When I have questions, I ask. When I have concerns, I ask. When I'm uncertain, I ask. And I can tell you this, I have never been disappointed. I've never been given bad information, and I've never been left stranded when I've listened. The question is, are you tuned into that? I'm sure there's a lot of you who are watching who get those insights or intuitions, but maybe don't fully understand it. Hopefully I'm shedding a little bit of light on that understanding today. And if you're not familiar with it at all, but you'd like to be, all you have to do is acknowledge the fact that this man created this for you so that you could have access to life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness, so that you could live and your family could live, so that you wouldn't perish in a disaster or unknown things, so that you would be abundant and fruitful for your whole life, so that you could fulfill your calling and your purpose, plans he has for you. To take that and say, you know what, you've paid everything for me to have this, and I trust you, and I'm willing to let you guide me and teach me. I'm willing to let you be the driver of this ship so that I don't sink. Maybe you found yourself at a point where you are sinking, and maybe you don't know what else to do. Maybe you found yourself at death's door from a personal crisis or disaster, or maybe you found yourself right in the middle of a crisis or an emergency or disaster, crying out for help, and in that moment, help came to you. Have you ever wondered how that happens? Because He cares about you. So I'm not going to make this long and drawn out, but I want to get straight to the point. If this is you and you're looking for help and you're looking for that guidance and that wisdom, the same guidance and wisdom that I rely on every single day for myself and my family, that I'm always trying to have an ear to listen, that still small voice that's hard to hear, if there's noise everywhere, if there's distractions everywhere, if there's all these different things keeping you from being able to hear it, I want to help you hear that today. Lord, I ask that you'd let the sound of my voice, that everyone it's reaching right now in this moment, who's made it this far, who's seeking the free gift you gave, I ask that you would pierce into their hearts right now, that you'd give them a peace beyond understanding, that you'd give them wisdom beyond all explanation, that you would guide them and lead them and teach them as they acknowledge that you're the one who gives wisdom and you're the one who gives guidance, and your Spirit leads us and teaches us and guides us. And I ask that you would give them strength and courage in the days ahead for what we need to be prepared for, that you would protect them, protect their family, protect their inheritance, their possessions that you've given them, that you would provide the resources they need to move forward, and that you would guard them and guide them amidst all odds. And I ask this in Jesus' name, amen. Until next time, keep practicing, keep prepping, and stay safe. American Thrivalist out.